Hello, this is Jen. The clip you're about to watch is from a 45-minute Lobotomy World Extra members episode, which if you'd like to watch the full version of, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member or by joining the Patreon at patreon.com/lobotomyworld. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Goodbye. I watched Marc Maron's new stand-up special, which is a sentence that I wouldn't normally probably ever say because I'm extremely bitter generally when it comes to comedy, and I don't watch any stand-up really. I do sometimes on a special occasion. I'll watch something. I still enjoy stand-up if I see it live. I'll go, but I won't go to the effort of going to most things. It has to be a special thing for me to like go out and see it. Like for example, like I went to go and see Neil Hamburger. I'll go out for Neil. I love Neil Hamburger. I'll go out and see Tim Heidecker. I'll see Maria Bamford, you know. These are my guys, as Marc Maron would say. But Marc Maron, I made an exception for Marc Maron because I quite like Marc Maron. I'm a Marc Maron apologist. I like him. I find his curmudgeonly nature endearing. I think he's a surprisingly good actor, and I have been a fan of his podcast, WTF, which stands for what the fuck, but don't tell anybody. You know, I feel like the thing about the whole like Joe Rogan thing is that like Joe Rogan obviously sucks, but sometimes like 1 out of every like 200 guests would be someone mildly interesting in the comedy sphere, and I would sometimes think, I would maybe like to hear what that person has to say. But then I would think, well, I can't really because I hate Joe Rogan, so I can't listen to his dumb crap podcast. But WTF really was sort of like, it kind of fills that gap. Like you get to hear a lot of like comedy types and actor types, and he had gosh darn Barack Obama in his garage. Anyway, the reason why I watched Marc Maron's new special though is obviously because over the last couple of years, Marc Maron, I mean, a lot of people are talking about it now, but really like over the last couple of years through his blog and everything, he's been quite outspoken about the state of America and his despair. And one thing that I like about Marc Maron especially is that he's not afraid to criticize and shit talk his fellow comedians. You know, he doesn't really seem to have that sort of romantic idea of like we're all in it together. It's like, no, some of these people like suck beyond belief. Some of these people really need to be told, or they need to be aware of how much they suck. But recently, Marc's been going off on one, as they say. He's been calling everyone out left, right and centre. And I heard that he had like a funny new bit in his special about Theo Von, and I just, curiosity got the better of me, and I watched the special and I liked it. I think he's a real pro, He knows how to put a show together. I like his style. And yeah, I think he's a good comedian, but more than anything, I just find it incredibly refreshing that one of those kind of old guard guys has been able to avoid being completely brainwashed in the same way that everybody else from his peer group seems to have been. I mean, I've been seeing interviews with Marc Maron talking specifically about, he acknowledges and talks about the plight of immigrants, people of colour, trans people, people with disabilities, and how often do you actually hear that from like an American edgy comic? Like, never. And I think it's interesting, right? Because I think for him, it probably comes more from a place of like boredom, like frustration at the scene becoming more and more generic and predictable. But I also do get the impression that he's like a good guy. I mean, I don't know that he is. It's not really my job to know that, but at least kind of like politically and emotionally, like he seems kind of on the level to me. At least more so than these other dorks. So yeah, it's a shame that he's ending his podcast, but if that's what he wants to do, that's what he has. He has a right to do it.